I'm sorry. I can apologize to Danny right now if that's what they're trying to do, but I'm a winner. I mean, you brought me here. I like to win games, and I'm a basketball player. I don't know how to just lose, lay down, and just lose, so I don't agree with that.
Yeah, man. I think everybody's surprised because it's somebody new, brand new in this league, basically. And but of course, I love the love from the fan. They are hitting me on social media, and I really appreciate it.
Do you see all that on Twitter and stuff?
Yeah, I should. What I can see, yeah.
It's going to get below 0 tonight.
No,
seriously.
I'm gonna probably sleep here tonight. Then I'm not going outside.
Thanks for giving our point guard encouragement. Anything else
Work up a good sweat tonight.
Ah, man, yeah. I'm gonna leave this building.
We just came from the desert,
with all the gear on. I'm gonna leave the building with everything on.
Did you rock the long sleeves as much in Phoenix as you did?
No, I never rocked long sleeves. I was short sleeves. I didn't have no coat in Phoenix, but nah, it's all good. You just gotta adapt to it. Gotta adjust.
Did you buy that jacket since you've been in Boston? Or?
I just bought this yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Like I said, before I got traded, I didn't have a big jacket, so I got to stay warm somehow.
Yeah. It didn't affect me a lot, except I couldn't see that well out of it.
How did you feel out there?
I felt good. We played well as a team, moved the ball, got open looks, and started, and just kept rolling.
You guys traveling to?
It's exactly what we wanted, no matter who it is, whether it be the Atlanta Hawks or Cleveland. So we'll focus on Milwaukee tomorrow and get ready for the postseason.
You feel like your chances are Cleveland's playing tough.
I'm ready to go to war with these guys. I'm ready to go to war. Let the rest of it take care of itself. I think everybody in this locker room needs a man to be ready to go to war.
One quick thing on Thomas. Like he said, Thomas came here, and it was just like, whoa.
Immediate.
They're a lot better.
Yep.
With Crowder, he started the year in Dallas. He was playing 10 minutes a game, averaging 3 points a game. He comes to Boston, start throwing him in the rotation. He starts starting. He's a little bit better, but still not what he is now. And then they move him to that second unit role with Thomas. And now, look at him. He's, becoming everybody's favorite player.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the progress that he's made over just this season alone in his, we said the Celtics almost had 3 seasons. Jay Crowder has had almost 3 portions of his season, and he has vastly improved through each of them to where he is now, a guy that's going to make a good amount of money, a lot more money than he thought he was going to be making, in the beginning of December when he's in Dallas.
Absolutely.
He reminds me a lot of James Posey in so many ways.
Yeah, another good comparison.
He's even, he has the potential to be a better player than James Posey, at least was that season.
Better than Posey.
Yeah, because Posey was a phenomenal all-model defender, really good help defender, and a good 3-point shooter. Jay's not that good of a 3-point shooter yet, but he can shoot the ball. But he can drive the ball really well. He's a good dribble penetrator going on the right line. Yeah, he can hit the shot when he gets contact, but he can blow by guys. He's got a decent first step. He can jump over people, and he can pass out of it if he needs to. So he's got a lot of potential to be a good player
as well. He's
tough.
The toughest guy on the Celtics, everybody says.
Yeah. So, I don't know how much that's saying, but it's saying something. I mean, Marcus Smart's pretty tough, but
there you go.
Yeah.
So Marcus Smart says that Jay Crowder's the toughest guy in the Celtics. So I guess
that's all you need to know.
That's a ringing endorsement.
And speaking of Marcus Smart, so he's the future of this team.
Yep.
I think it's become pretty apparent over the last couple months of the season. He's so raw and he's so far away from being that guy right now. But you continue to see all the little improvements, the little flashes of what he can do. You're just waiting for him to be able to put it together on a regular basis. What do you think we're going to see out of him next year?
I think that we're going to see his biggest improvement be attacking the rim. And that's something that he did a lot at Oklahoma State. He's a physical guy. He's a big guard. So in college, that came kind of more natural to him. When he came here in summer league and at the beginning of the year, he was shooting way too many threes. I don't have the numbers. I don't have the numbers in my head, but I remember I wrote about it a couple times, and it was like, wow, you're shooting way too many threes and not making many of them.
Jared Sullinger syndrome.
He improved a lot on that and became a much better 3-point shooter as this season went on, which is important. But I think the main thing, that ankle injury, obviously he was only out a few weeks, but I think that had a lot to do with in his head, going to the rim, jumping up, coming down on ankles, and just not having that explosiveness that he wanted. I think we saw in the last few weeks to a month of the season him getting to the rim a lot more. That Toronto game, he had a couple of big dunks. He had a putback dunk or two today. He's been getting to the rim more in the series, getting floaters around when normally he would settle for threes. So I think next year we can expect a jump in Marcus Smart's offense by getting into the paint, or at least, getting himself 10, 15-foot jumpers that he was not comfortable with this year.
No, I mean, I agree. There are so many aspects of his game that still need work. I'd say his defense is really the only part that you'd say you're happy with as it is right now.
And then
obviously, he can still get
but you'd
better.
have to think, I just talked about him improving on offense, you'd have to think he's also going to improve defensively, and then, wow, watch out.
Yeah, no, I love the fact that he seems like he seems like the kind of guy that really has that drive. I love the fact that he's playing Summer League again this year, which he said he was today. Because he's got so many things he needs to improve. He needs to become a better shooter still. That was the knock on him coming out of school. He needs to really get because we saw this year he didn't actually play all that much point guard. He was the point guard by position, but Evan Turner did most of the ball handling. Yeah. So if they want him, because he's not going to be the Avery Bradley shooting guard type, and they're not always going to have a three that happens to be a part-time point guard. So when he's on the floor in those lineups, he has to be able to get that done, be that kind of floor general facilitator guy. And he's obviously not ready for that right now, or else he would have been doing it more this season. So there's a lot of things he still needs to work on. But he's a young guy. I mean, I'd say that it was an encouraging rookie season by pretty much anybody's standards, I would say.
So what Brad Stevens did this year was incredible. And I think if you're a Celtics fan, or if you're just someone that follows this team, or if you're in the organization, you couldn't be prouder of the program that they've built here. And everybody inside the locker room has talked about that, and a lot of people outside the locker room have talked about that. And we're talking about Boston not being a free agency thing, which I'm not even sure if that's a true myth anymore. I know Andre Iguodala said that to me before, but I haven't really had many other players ever say that to me. But that's because he thought it was still a racist town. I'm like, well, that was in the 70s. It's kind of come a long way since then. But Brad Stevens is a huge attraction. And so many guys around the league are going to look at Brad Stevens and what he's done here and say that if I'm a guy that wants to see my game get elevated, I know it can happen in Boston. And that's probably the most important thing that Danny Ainge can be able to say to prospective free agents is, we know that if you come here and play for this coach, you're going to be a better player.
Echo.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you see just like the national kind of buzz once the Celtics really kind of gathered some national attention, and especially during these playoffs when they're on national TV every night, you just see the buzz. Everybody kind of is buying into the Brad Stevens effect. I mean, we in Boston have known about this for a while, for basically throughout this whole season, that he was the kind of guy that the team has unwavering confidence in, and that his players love, and that he's been proving himself as a fantastic coach. But I think once the nation has been able to see it, they've bought in too. And I mean, we know basketball players watch basketball even if they're not in the games themselves. So
I mean, everything you guys have said has been true. Just to be the downer for 1 second, we know that pitch is going to work to your Evan Turners and your Jay Crowders.
Yep, exactly.
Now we have to see if the pitch can work to the big guys who are going to say, I don't need a coach to make my game better. I'm an all-star already. Mm-hmm. I'm a first-team NBA already. Why is this coach going to make me better like he does for your Evan Turners, your Jay Crowders? When that happens, then we'll really be talking.
That's going to be a fascinating question. It really is.
Yeah, that's the big question.
We'll get that answer as we go along through the offseason. We'll be back to talk to you for the NBA draft. So for Zach, for Julian, I'm Jared, and for Jimmy, who's not here as well, for Kyle, who's been behind the camera running things all year long, I want to thank you for watching the Garden Report. Please comment on this below, and we'll talk to you soon.
I think above the 4 games, maybe the last few months, having to play from behind on the last few months and accomplishing something, and then measuring yourself against the best in the East, in a lot of people's eyes, we have a lot of information, and that's really good. We know where we can get better. We know individually where we need to improve. We know collectively where we need to improve. And the best thing that I take from this year is that there's growth, there's building, there's progress. Now we have to build on it. That's the challenge, right? I mean, that's the hard part, is now continuing it and build on it. But we've got a good environment. That's a real positive moving forward.
because we feel like we deserve more. We're proud, but we're not satisfied. We see that this team has a lot of potential. We work hard. We like playing with each other. We play extremely hard, and those are the keys to success. So it's frustrating to see the season end like it did, but we gotta try to build from this and come back next year ready for war.
I just think, I mean, it's not about individuals. Obviously, we're going home, so we can care less how well we played at the end of the game. The fact of the matter is, we didn't get no wins, and I mean, it was a good way to, I guess, to end the season. But at the same time, our main focus and our main objective was to get a win tonight, and we failed. So, if playing well is satisfaction to y'all, then y'all can write whatever y'all want to write about that.